Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. So we have something from Miguron that's pretty heavy. I don't know if we can... I don't know, it's probably not really doing anything for you, but just trust me, it's heavy. So I know that there's something large in there. I know there's something overbuilt from Miguron, who has kind of dabbled in that, right? Generally what they make is pretty straightforward, practical, premium or budget knives. But much to my joy and the joy of many people in this community, every now and then they do something absolutely ridiculous, which I like to see. It's fine if you like to make a lot of the same, types of things. But pulling a 180 and doing something weird every now and then is something that puts a big smile on my face. Thanks so much to Miguron for sending this in. I will link this knife down in the description. I just checked. It's available. How do I know what it is? Because it says right here on the back, Nagain. Nagain. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. Let's go ahead and find out what we've... Oh boy. That is definitely... something different, not as long, at least in a closed position, as I was assuming it was going to be. Oh, but it is a thick one. Whoa, that's at least a 1/4 inch. At least a 1/4 inch. Why? What's the reason? Why? Don't people know that if the thick blade make hard to cut stuff? I must educate. We know. We know. Everybody who looks at stuff like this, I mean, the vast majority of people taking a look at stuff like this know just good and well that a thicker blade is going to result in thicker and less convenient cutting geometry. The draw to stuff like this is not some imagined heightened capability in terms of utility. No, it's just thick knife funny, haha. Like that's essentially the extent of it. That's the way I look at it anyway. So how do you deploy it? It looks like the only way to deploy it is to use this carved in area on the blade here. Whoa, wait, whoa. What do we got here for the coating? Now, hold on a minute. Could it be a satin DLC? I sound like Dr. Seuss. Yeah, I think that's what that is, unless they've found a way to polish PVD. The only reason I'm questioning it is because traditionally what Miguron uses is PVD. Big, thick blade. I gotta measure that in real quick. Miguron tends to be 59 to 61 on M390. Occasionally, unless I'm mixing them up with some other company, they will do 60 to 62, probably because of the coating and the uncoated blades. So the blade stock, yeah, it's a 1/4 inch, 250 thousandths on the dot. Compound, I guess a harpoon clip point. How do you guys want me to refer to that as? Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Come on now, hold it together. So let's, real quick though. So a thick blade can still slice, right? It's not that the end result isn't that it is sharp. I'm sorry, that it is not sharp. That comes down to whether or not the person sharpening it or the machine or whatever they're using to sharpen it understands how to sharpen a blade. This is still sharp. It's still plenty sharp. Incredibly sharp. The issue is having to push the entire piece of material through whatever it is that you're cutting. So a typical job for a pocket knife would be to open a package, break down a box, right? You're pushing the entire slab through. As far as overbuilt knives go, though, on the flip side of this argument, this is really compact. In fact, Miguron, in my book, has the trophy for the most carryable overbuilt knife, which up until this point was the Arma. I mean, it's definitely overbuilt, but far more compact than you expect these types of knives to be. This is actually really cool. It's just really thick. I mean, they could legitimately make the exact same thing, but thinner, and it would just be a more convenient knife, right? So they're just having some fun, and that's perfectly fine. I do kind of, it's weird, the little inlays of carbon fiber, but it is nice. I mean, it's nicely done. The whole knife is very, very well made. Busy, kind of like 2017 Kershaw busy, right? That's kind of what it reminds me of. We have a little bit of, what is this making me think of? Curtis knives? Yeah, with the big cutout here, a little bit. They got some tubes carved in there. if this is DLC, they did a really, really good job. It looks really nice. The DLC blade and the contrast with the gray, probably a blasted gray frame, and then we have the little pieces of carbon fiber in there. So this knife, I just looked, is actually $298. Considering we are looking at a DLC coating on a 1/4-inch slab of M390. There's literally enough M390 here, people who like to reduce the value of knives to simply the materials used, which is wrong. That's only one part of the equation. But if you do that, there are 2 blades, easily 2 blades worth of M390 here. Your overall length, where is my measuring tape? There it is, literally right in front of my face. Story of my life. Okay, it's not even a short blade either. This is almost an 8-inch knife, 7.85, but 3.5, yeah, legitimately 3.5 inches of blade, 3.25 inches of cutting edge. So easily 2 blades of M390. And then you have a lot of titanium too, arguably at least a knife and a half worth of titanium. So there's a lot there. I'm not necessarily upset about that price tag if you reduce it to materials and execution of said materials, even when considering that this knife is definitely made in China. I mean, I'm not guessing. I know that. Miguron knives are made in China. But they do a good job, right? Access to the frame lock is fine. It's a little weird that the only means of deployment is this. I mean, it works, but I kind of want this to have a flipper tab. If it did have a flipper tab, it wouldn't be nearly as comfortable in this position here, right? Choked up. It's definitely got that going for it. So I guess if you don't like flipper tabs, you don't mind, deploying your knives. Like personally, I don't mind because I deploy a lot of my, a lot of my favorite knives are deployed that way. Can you forward flick it? Yeah, if you get it in exactly the right spot. I don't love it. You can pinch open it very easy, right? Very easy. Not bad. It's not going to be for everybody by a long shot, right? But some people are really going to enjoy this. I'd say specifically, if you like the idea of overbuilt knives or just a really thick blade stock, you don't have to justify it, right? You don't have to prove to some weird group of people why a thick blade stock is ideal for you in some mostly imagined scenario. You can just like it because you like it. I remember being inexplicably attracted to blades that were overly thick for no reason. The first time I realized that was even a thing, probably back when I discovered Hinder knives, Strider knives, and eventually Medford knives, and I thought, that looks cool. The really thick blade stock. I had no idea why the blade stock would be so thick, and I didn't really question it. But my brain said, I like how that looks. So you don't have to you don't have to come up with a use for it or a reason for it. You can just like it. So if you're like that, but you're also but at the same time, they tend to be, really, really huge and almost impossible to carry, or at least, realistically. I mean, you can put it in your pocket and it just pulls your pants down. But if you're all about that, you don't want to spend Medford prices on a big overbuilt knife, this might actually be for you because it's got all that stuff and it is pretty darn compact. I mean, it's still thick, but it's pretty compact in its closed up position, right? I'll give you guys a couple of size comparisons here. Up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue. Fairly similar, a little smaller than something like the Shaman. Put it up against the MSI here, up against the AD10. I mean, listen, if you EDC an AD10, well, this is going to be much easier, right? How about the Spyderco PM2? There we go. Pretty cool. How much does it weigh? We should probably weigh it. It's a big part of it. I'm going to guess that weighs, I don't know. It's hard to guess. 7.5, 8.5 ounces? No, not even 7. 6.9. Okay. Really, as far as knives with a 1/4-inch blade stock that are almost full size, I don't know that I've handled that one that's as light as that. They tend to be at least 7 to 8 ounces, usually 8 or above, right? Pretty cool. Okay. You'll get a full comprehensive review of this knife a few weeks down the road. That's going to be it for today. I'll link this guy in the description. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex if you enjoyed this video. Leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. If you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click at that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.